always have like a little. Cup to cup.
Welcome, everybody. It is Cup to Cup, 7 minutes in heaven. This is the episode where we're going to talk about sports for a little bit, quite a few bits, probably. I got all my boys here today. Chris, Chase, Jason, all here. Jose on another sabbatical. Landlord issues, apparently. Interesting.
We approved it, though. We got approved this time.
Who approved it?
I did.
I didn't approve it. I
did.
approve it.
I gave him. I approved
okay.
this one. I said this one's okay.
All the boys here. Sports was a little bit different for us this week, right? A little bit
There
different.
was W's across the board, and someone had a
was-
bye week, so they didn't get that.
Hey, can't lose.
But
on
they
a bye
didn't get
week.
an L. They did not get an L.
Oh well.
Didn't get a win either.
fuck it.
Hey.
Keep that in mind.
Fuck, We'll see
We
many
got a
of
lot
those.
to talk about. Florida State, NFL. We're gonna update the Pigskin Pick'em. Speaking of the Jags, like, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah.
On bye week, there was your chance.
Fuck
Florida State had a good week. We'll talk about that. We do have, for the first time in 7 minutes history.
Not the first time.
I don't think
It's
so.
not.
We've had
Officially.
multiple opening items.
All right, folks, have a good night. Thank you so much for joining us.
We tried. Try again
An
next week.
official opening item we did.
All right, I'll give the official.
Thank you. Suck my.
Excuse me, do you know how much a polar bear weighs?
No, how much?
Enough to break the ice. Hi, Fred Searing. How are you?
I want to give a
Good
shout out
time.
to Podcast Dave. We had him on the normal podcast. He's on Instagram right now, and he just chatted, so I have to give him that.
What's up, Dave?
It's Monday at
What
8
up,
o'clock.
Dave?
We don't expect a lot of people to be live right now since this is kind of a new trend that we're doing. But it's trying to get picked. We have 2 comments in there on Instagram right now, so I'm fucking
Mm-hmm.
gonna give Podcast Dave.
Touchdown.
Go hit him up. He edits. He produces podcasts. He has a badass UFC podcast that he produces. It's fucking cool,
He
dude.
does indeed. Yep.
And obviously Jose has a major crush on him. I think it's his accent.
we-
I can't
that's a
remember
given.
what really sold him. Yeah, it is a given. He's a good
I
looking
think
dude.
the accent is that was what sold it.
This one threw Chase for a loop because this is from an account called Explaining the Universe on Instagram that I found. I know it's weird that they were talking about sports, but they put out this top 10 list, and I'm gonna have it scroll really fast on the bottom because there's a lot to look at. So this is my way of getting you guys to stay on this and read this list. And if you want to check it out, go to Explaining the Universe, and you'll see which one they ranked first and which one they ranked last. I just want us to talk about this because I feel like a few of these shouldn't be on here. And then I think a few are correct in this. But just to let everyone know, they put motorsports as number 1 for the most, or the sport that requires the most skill. And they put ice hockey as number 10. Right off the bat, do you agree with
I thought it was just 1 through 10. These are in order according to
the way
Explaining the Universe?
Chris put it in our doc? Yes. But I
Oh,
haven't
okay.
put it.
That's-
And with the way it's scrolling right now, it is the first one you see is the number 1 that they ranked, and the last one's going to be the 10.
Yeah, that's
Not
how the post is. It
So
goes
keeping
1
it in
through 10.
mind, keeping in mind, they're saying skill, and to me that means take athleticism. Like everyone's equally athletic, and they're playing because that's how I'm taking it. I don't
No,
know if that's
and
how you're
that's-
taking it.
And dude, if you take this, we've had over 300 episodes. If you go back, we had a big debate on this on athletic versus skill, right? Like, and that is a thing that's I feel like it's a great fucking area. But I think for this, yeah, we're taking this as skill. Obviously, athleticism does play into
It
that
does,
kind of
yeah.
skill, so it gets that weird gray area. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm trying to mute. I'm trying to like imagine every single person in the world is the same athletic ability, but different like skill. Like so, like in terms of like video games, in terms of like driving, like those just like different types of skills. Now I understand like boxing, you still have to have like strength and same with race car driving. But like I'm trying my best to like mute the athleticism and just look
It's
at the
hard too,
skill
though.
aspects. It is. It's impossible.
It's hard because let's go through these that would athleticism plays a huge role, right? Obviously, gymnastics,
Basketball,
you're talking about
gymnastics,
boxing.
soccer,
If you're a
boxing,
fat fucking slob, you're not going to be
You're
able
not
to hang
going
in there
for
for
it. No.
2 seconds and you're done. So it's hard for me not to take that in
No,
there. So
for
that's how
sure.
you're going to take a chase.
I'm
For me-
I'm trying to mute it as much as I can.
For
Like,
me, the
even it
issue,
out.
I know everyone sees esports, and that's the first one you go to. I don't have a problem with that one. I have a problem with how low they've ranked basketball and hockey. I think
those
there's
need to be
a lot of
higher on the list.
skills involved in that.
Is this
Kevin?
like just to play the sport, like just to play it, not to like excel in it at all, like
Just
to be good at it
require
at
the
all?
most skill to play it. Yep.
So the only reason I can think that they're putting basketball, that's why I asked this.
Because anybody
and-
can be shitty at any one of these, right?
Yes. Let's say to be above average at these sports.
Yeah, because all it says is
Oh,
rank
so
the
we are
sports.
changing it. We are changing.
Well, I mean, again, it's how you take it. We don't know. Again, I
Literally-
just told you I'm taking it, and that the reason I'm taking it the way I'm taking it is the fact that they have basketball that low. Is the only reason they have basketball that low in my eyes is the fact that they must be thinking of pure skills and taking as much athleticism out of it as they can. But that raises the other question of why baseball's not in there, because baseball is one of, if not the hardest sports in the world to play for the eye-hand coordination, and that's pure skill.
Well, I mean, let's think about this. Like, a baby can throw a basketball in a hoop, you know?
Yeah.
So, how much skills that really require to play? If that's what we're doing on.
I don't
I
think
mean,
we're
you can
saying
say the
just
same
play.
thing with boxing. No, you're gonna have to play this at a professional level.
Okay.
Okay,
Play at a
professional
professional
level.
We're going to
Well,
professional.
I mean-
Is that what we're going with?
Yeah,
Do we
I think
have
I think that I do think that's the
motorsport?
best way. I think that's the best
Okay.
way to take it.
That's fine.
To
We
play
can
this
argue
at a
with that, but I
pro
think it has
level.
to be played at a professional level for
Yeah,
sure.
I think it
100%.
does. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And at a professional level, I think hockey and basketball should be up there. As much as I love surfing, I can probably think of some sports that overpower that one. And basketball and hockey would be that one.
Yeah, I would have
esports would be
surfing
on
towards the bottom. I would have surfing.
You had
and
esports on the bottom.
For this list, yeah.
Compare to this, yeah.
In terms of
Esports
Be
is-
a
skill,
professional esports
I
player.
think I think in terms of skill, just pure skill, I would have esports at least middle pack.
And you
Ridiculous. It needs to be top 3.
You also
No,
have to
it
take this
doesn't.
in consideration too.
Listen.
Let's talk about the skill level and how
Okay.
long it takes you to acquire such skill. I think you could acquire a gaming skill pretty fast compared to some of these other ones.
So
No fucking way.
Well, so for
No
instance,
fucking way.
motorsports, like a lot of
10 to
gaming, a lot of
12-year-olds
gaming
that's
is
been on the
eye-hand
planet.
coordination and being able to like being kind of like ambidextrous or like being good with like your fingers and being quick. And so for me, a race car driver could master e-gaming for sure. Like that to me, that translates over really well. Where I think a race car driver would have a way easier time perfecting being
Well,
an
it
e-gamer
depends
as
on
opposed to the opposite.
obviously like what game you're playing for sure. Like if you're playing a racing game, then yes, yeah, for sure. If you're playing a racing game that's like almost exactly like racing a car, like in a simulator, like the guy on the fucking Gran Turismo movie, right?
Mhm.
So I
Okay,
mean, like,
but could an
that's
e-gamer
way
then
different?
but then could an e-gamer turn around and actually who's the top in the world at racing games? Could he turn around and be a top of the world racer?
Isn't that what the movie was about?
It
And it's a
was.
true story.
Yeah.
So
and he
one
wasn't
person.
that good. They elaborated.
Oh, I mean,
and it was very much elaborated for sure.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, for sure.
So to me, it would be much. And if we're talking just skill, that's kind of what I have to think. Like, could
No, to be a professional.
yeah,
Yes.
yes, but I'm saying, but just skill. I'm trying to mute the athleticism as much as possible. So in terms of just skill, I think it's way easier for a professional race car driver to master gaming than it is a master gamer, professional gamer, to master race car driving. And so to me, that means race car driving is a harder skill.
That's actually a good way of putting that, Chase.
Wait, you just said it would be easy for a gamer to master
No,
racing.
No, I
He
said
said
the
the
opposite.
opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be easier for a race car driver to master gaming than it would be for a gamer to master race car driving.
For example, Kevin, if you threw the gamer
I
into the
understand what
car-
you're saying. I understand
Yeah.
what you're
So
saying.
to
You don't
me,
need to
that
break it
means
down
that
for me.
race car driving is
Kinda did.
takes more skill. Is how I'm looking at that.
I mean, you said we don't have to break it down for you.
We're
but you
doing great.
literally
We're doing
were-
great, folks. Everything
you
is
were
great.
literally-
Okay.
you were
All right.
literally saying
This is
the
my
But would
list.
you-
This is my
Would
list.
you keep it number one,
okay.
race car driving? Would
I
that be
would.
number one?
I would. Yeah.
You would?
Yes.
Race car driver is the hardest thing to
Of all
play.
these.
Skill wise.
Professionally.
Yes. Skill wise. Yes.
All right, so we'll-
on this list, I think baseball is top 10, but it's not on here. So
So what would be number two then? You have right behind. Is gymnastics two, or what would you
No.
put
Oh.
two?
to me, no.
So
Okay.
another way I take this as well, and then Kevin jump in with your top 10. The way I take this in addition to what Chase said, you have to take in how many athletes are in these categories playing professional. I think that actually is a
That's
very
true.
important number,
Yeah.
right? Like there aren't a lot of motorsport like F1 racers, right? That's not supposed to be Florida. That's supposed to be F1. It looks like a underspace, but
It is an L.
F1
You're right.
motorsports
It's
racer.
F1.
And how many gymnastics are there? How many archers? How many boxers, soccer players, ice skaters? So like for me, so that's why surfing I don't think should be on this list versus how many baseball players are out there. Versus
Baseball
how
a
many
million
basketball.
percent should be ahead of surfing.
Yeah,
baseball
that
for me is
should- I
top
think-
5 easy, probably top 3.
Yeah.
Hitting
So,
a
because of
baseball
that-
is next to impossible from a professional. Like, I don't
And then
know,
look
man.
at F1 racers and how many are there? Like I don't follow F1 as much. I'm really starting to try to get into it, but like how many professional F1 like are there's not that many out there, you know what I mean? So that you have to take that in consideration with this one. So for me, I don't know if I put F1 in there because I don't know enough of the sport, but I want to give it to the respect that it deserves. But I definitely think surfing needs to be next. I think basketball and ice hockey should be above ice skating. Fuck
For
off.
sure.
How do
Yeah.
you put ice hockey under ice skating when it's
Those
ice
are my
skating?
bottom 2.
That's-
Plus
for
more
sure.
thing.
Surfing and ice skating are my bottom 2.
Ice skating would be out for me completely. I
Well,
don't. I'm
but I'm
sorry, I
saying
just-
it's on the list, so I'm
Yeah.
just going.
I
with
would
what's
go
on the
surfing
list.
then ice hockey.
Yeah.
Ice hockey or ice skating?
Excuse me, surfing then ice skating. Excuse
Agreed.
me, ice hockey.
Yes.
Would be higher up.
All right. Since Kevin actually has his top 10,
Here we go.
No, I don't. I don't.
No.
I'd put let me think about this really quick. Hardest thing to do professionally, to become a professional at. I'm gonna go. I'd probably go gymnastics, esports, boxing, combat sports. Ice hockey, basketball, soccer, and everything else doesn't matter.
You're that low on racing. That's crazy to me.
F1 didn't even make the
That's
top
crazy
6.
to me.
Yeah,
And we're talking skill.
if a gamer can just walk in,
You watch
Jesus
one
Christ.
movie and you think that's fucking hot. That's it. That's not how. That
I'm
works.
just saying, if it happened even close to that, you know, he didn't have to be the best. He just had to be a professional. If a gamer can walk in and be like, all right, actually, you know what? There's another
One
gamer,
singular
right?
gamer.
No, not one singular gamer. There's a professional Call of Duty player that started racing, and now he's a professional racer. Like he's in a
In what-
professional
what-
league.
You can professional what though? Which racing? Like what is he doing?
Is he an
races-
F1?
F1 racing is a whole different ball game than you picking up a motorcycle and just.
It
being
says
part of-
motorsports or F1.
F1 Motorsports.
In my mind,
It's
I'm
F1
imagining
Motorsports.
F1.
That's the
and
same
NASCAR.
thing.
It's saying that I looked at the post and it's saying F1 Motorsports. So F1.
So now it's changed. Now that I said something, now it's
okay.
changed.
Would you change? Would you change it?
Probably not. No.
Okay, then fuck off. What
Yeah,
the fuck?
that's number 1 for me in terms of skill. Again, it's skill. It's just skill that I'm looking at, and that is driving a race car track going, 200 miles an hour.
Like
to me,
everybody knows what it is.
thank you, is way more skilled than professionally playing Gran Turismo or Call of Duty or I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
And-
I think esports are top 5. I think it's probably 5th. So
This guy won the 2024 Porsche Sprint Challenge champion. There you go. Call of Duty player.
I don't know what that is.
Neither do I.
It's
but
definitely
it's
not
something.
F1
Neither do
or NASCAR though, which is what I'm picturing.
So everybody had F1 at number 1, but Kevin. Yes.
So
I don't have
NASCAR and F1 are the only racing. Like,
That's
it.
what I'm picturing.
I don't have F1. I can't give F1 there because I don't know enough about it. I know enough that I give it respect to be in the top 5. But for me to understand like what goes into a gymnastics and seeing them do a fucking, I don't know, a 3 backflips and land on a slim little pole, I feel like, I mean, that's athletic, but there's a fucking lot of skill there. So
There
for
is.
me, it's hard for me to put F1 racing on there. I know there's a whole core thing. I watched an entire video of how much core it takes to fucking drive an F1. Again, is that athleticism or is that skill? I think
It's definitely a
that
mixture
fucking
of
gray
both.
area.
It's definitely a mixture of both, but that's why I don't have gymnastics number 1 is because I think it's more athletic than it is skill. Now, it's both. It's definitely both. But I think like you just can't be in a professional gymnast without being an elite athlete. You can
that's
be,
true.
in my opinion, a professional race car driver without being an elite athlete. So
I laughed. Sorry, Hanky Spanky, Florida Man. He won the Florida Man Games this year, with his team, and he said, "I think Florida Man Games is clearly a top 3." And I'm not going to argue.
I mean,
You fight
hey.
gators, you chase
Top
cops,
3 or
you get
top
chased by
1?
cops.
That takes very unique skills
that is skill.
that
is definitely
only
skill.
10 people in the world have.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm not going to fuck around with that. He probably has something there. But congrats again, bro. We had him on the podcast. They killed it out there, and they're apparently competing again this year. So it's gonna be pretty fucking awesome.
We got
But yeah,
the team together.
I think this is why I put it out there. I definitely saw Kevin going with esports, but I didn't.
I
know
think
where
that
we
you
stood on
guys.
one.
I mean, I watch esports. I know how much skill it takes. Like I play hundreds of hours of video games, Call of Duty. Let's just say Call of Duty. It could be any esports.
Yeah.
Hundreds of hours. I'm not even a fucking tenth
So
of the.
here's a good thing that you asked about it. So this is why I can't put esports there, right? So you always say that you're old, and being old, your eye-hand coordination is slower. Then you have these kids that are like 10, 11, 12, like just destroying it. So you're going to tell me a kid that was 10 years old developed
I think
these
the,
skills that
the
are that
age needs to
hard?
be a little bit higher than that. But
I'm just saying though, like
15.
these kids that are killing it are
they're usually
trained
like-
for
they're
a
like-
few years. So for to me feels like that's an athletic ability, meaning that their age is giving them the skill versus their actual skill set. I'm not saying I'm correct, but for me to say like a 14-year-old can develop these skills and be the best in the world, and then you're over here playing just as many hours, if not more, I feel like that's probably has something to do with athletic versus skill.
It depends on where you are. Like if you're a top 1%, like Scump is like
That's-
in his 30s and
Yeah.
he's retired and still like games with these other professionals and dominates them still.
I get you. I just
So he's like top 1%, you know. So
But then even if you go with archery, we had what's his face on, and he's fucking shooting shit in the sky. Like it's hard for me
crazy.
to just justify someone with a controller versus someone that's shooting something in the air that you're taking in consideration.
I
of
understand it would be
gravity,
hard to
force,
think of
air,
it that
all
way. I understand. Yeah, for
I think
sure.
you're having a hard time thinking of it outside of that
No,
because it's
I'm
your
not.
favorite hobby. I expected you to come back with this for a reason. This is
I just
why
don't
I
think
got
it
it in the
needs to
top
be.
three.
I think you underestimate how much skill it takes, and that's what the question is: how much skill it takes to play.
No, I agree, and that's what I'm saying. I think there's a gray area between skill and athleticism when it comes to the eye hand
For sure.
coordination. Is that a skill or is that an athleticism or is it a both? But Hanky Spanky brings up another point too. Don't sleep on hockey. Freaking 250-pound dudes on skates using sticks slap a 5-inch puck into a net with another 250-pound.
Hockey's
freak
up there for
stopping
me
you
because
on
you have
ice.
to
On ice.
you have to be able to skate. You have to be able to like
Doing a
actually
lot.
have really good eye-hand coordination. You have to be able to handle a stick while also skating. Like it's definitely up there. Hockey
Skating
to
for
me-
them is like walking though. Like
Yeah,
you know,
but that's a skill.
But it's a
It is
skill
a
you have
skill.
to learn
It is
over
a skill.
time.
I would have, in terms of just skill, I would have soccer and basketball behind hockey. Personally, in terms of just skill, because they have to do this like eye-hand coordination and play a sport while also skating. So like that's why to me it gets the nod over soccer and basketball. It's like if I just had to quickly do my top 10, I think I would go surfing 10, ice skating 9. Oh man. Basketball 8, archery 7, soccer 6, boxing. No, esports 5, boxing 4. What am I missing?
it was boxing and combat sports, so
Combat,
that
yeah.
includes
Combat, that's
UFC.
important.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll put archery behind that, then boxing combat, then gymnastics, then
Then F1.
race car.
Yeah, pretty close to that. I have esports high. I just can't. I cannot put esports above.
5th or
boxing
6th seems
combat
right to
sports.
me. And that 4 to 6
can't-
range is fine with me. Above that or below that just seems wrong to me.
The only 3 that I won't budge on is ice hockey, combat sports, or actually like 4, gymnastics and F1. I can't put esports above those. I just can't. It
Yeah.
just doesn't feel right.
I think I would have combat above esports too.
Chris, before
Oh,
we move on,
gymnastics,
close. It's
gymnastics, easy,
yeah,
easy. number one.
Gymnastics, it's got to be top 2.
Okay. This has easily been the longest opening item, so we got to move on.
There it is.
But that being said, Chris, you've been super
Yo.
quiet like normal. What is your number one on this list, or is there another sport that's not on this list that should be number one?
I'll just give you my 10 because I was changing it. I got F1, gymnastics, ice hockey, soccer, archery, basketball. My handwriting is so bad. I think boxing.
How do you not know how to read your own handwriting?
It's
The
bad.
one person to know that.
Esports, surfing, ice skating. I should. I write too fast.
So no baseball. You're not going to swap out surfing for baseball?
Oh, I put
Baseball should be on this list.
Wait, I didn't know we could add sports to this.
We were just joking. Like we're talking. Like
I mean,
putting
yeah.
it on there
If
now.
you're cut, yeah, you cut surfing
you
for
would?
baseball.
Baseball's
then
top
baseball-
5.
Yeah, I'd probably put baseball in top 5. Yeah, I'd have to totally rearrange it if we.
Yeah,
in
same.
baseball.
I'd rearrange the whole fucking thing.
Fuck. All right. We're
Baseball's in there
These
now.
was own episode.
Ah,
Jesus
surfing.
Christ. I expected this to be like 10 minutes. All right, this is stupid. Apparently, it's esports.
Everybody just come up with their own list. We'll put them out. What do you think?
All right, we're gonna move on to something kind of not depressing, but depressing. I don't know how you.
SEC, Florida State, your team, your RB. We some dogs, we ain't no puppies.
We ain't no puppies. Not this week.
Shit.
Yes, both basketball. Well, let's do basketball first.
Basketball's fucking rolling, baby. 6-1, and they're receiving one vote to be.
They got a
ranked in the
vote?
top- They have a
Wow.
vote to be ranked in the top 25.
That's impressive.
Hey,
Okay.
Look, Rice and Temple aren't pushovers. Now they're not top.
Hofstra, Temple, and UMass. You got 3 wins last week. You know, this is what you're doing. What you're supposed to. You're supposed to win these non-conference games.
That's
is what
right.
You're, you're taking. Care of
I'll
business
agree
right
with.
now.
I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that. You're winning the games that you're supposed to, except for.
And you could have beat Florida if you didn't fuck around. You had a few.
No,
chances
I don't want to
beat
hear
Florida.
that. I don't want to hear that.
Well,
Don't.
the big development to me are twofold. The fact that we have a couple of 3-point shooters, which is nice to see. Last year we had one player who could consistently hit threes. This year I feel like we have 2 to 3.
Doubled up, baby.
But the biggest development for me, and I mean, I said it in our chat where I was like, we have this number 1 JUCO guy, Malik Ewan, but his first 4 games of the season, he was shooting 30% from the field. He's like 6'11", and he was shooting 30% from the field, and he had 0 points, 11 points, 6 points, 10 points on horrible shooting. The last 3 games, he's shooting like 70% from the field and has scored 13, 15, 17. His 3 highest scoring games of the season.
It's a great kid.
And if I mean, that's huge. That's massive to have him step up like that, to go with Jameer Watkins, who's, I mean, we knew we had Jameer Watkins, but it was like, what else do we have? Like, who else can step up? And we've had a couple players that have had good games here or there, but not consistent, like Watkins. Watkins gets you 15 points basically
get.
guaranteed every single game on decent shooting. His free throw shooting has dropped. I'd like to see that bump back up. He was at like 80% last year. He's at like 60% this year.
Whole team
so.
needs to shoot free throws for an hour after
Well,
practice.
and
It's
especially
ridiculous.
since he gets to the free throw line a lot. So like, this isn't a
sick
guy.
of missed free throw. I'm sick
Isn't
of
this a
fucking missed free
historically
throws all the time.
Common thing for FSU.
Yes.
For free throw.
For the last like 10 years, and that's the crazy part, because for
Fire
like a,
Hamilton. I'm fucking done with it.
for like a
bro.
4-year run, we were like setting
you're
records
tired.
for free throw percentage. We had that. I think the guy that went on to coach, Andy Enfield, I believe he went on to coach like Florida Gulf Coast and a couple other schools. He was like our like shooting coach at
bring
FSU
him
for a
back,
couple
'cause-
years, and we were shooting like 85% from the free throw line, and then he left, and it's just like,
Just free points. It's just
how do
free
you
points. They're
shoot
just
free
leaving
throws? And look, it'd be one thing if Jameer Watkins just doesn't go to the line. You know, that wouldn't be that big a deal. But the dude gets like 7 to 8 free throws a game. You can't have him shooting 60% from the free throw line when he's
Tired
our
of it,
main
Jameer.
free throw shooter.
Jameer, we ain't talk
So
about it.
that's
I'm
just
sick of it.
leaving points on the board. But other than that, Malik Ewan stepping up is, I mean, if this team has any shot of going to the NCAA, it needs him to be what he was the last 3 games, which was 13 points, 6 boards, 15 points, 9 boards, 17 points, 7 boards. That's what they need for sure. That and just a couple 3-point shooters, because their defense has looked great this year. Their defense has looked really good. They're forcing turnovers and getting points off turnovers. Our rebounding could be a little better for sure.
It definitely
But
could be better.
We shot 50% from 3. When's the last time we fucking shot 50% from 3 on like 18 3-point shots?
Probably do it a lot with a new coach.
Anyway, I'm not going to
100%.
take this Leonard slander. Your team, they
Why
have.
not?
Yeah, I've
He
told
does
you
you.
this is his last season. Can you just?
You
This
say
is
this
it.
every fucking year, and I'm gonna
No,
bring it up
I-
until he's gone.
That's fine,
Done
and
with
I'll be shocked if we're sitting here a year from now and he's still the head coach. But you
You're
get
not gonna be shocked.
I
Are
wouldn't
you
be
really
shocked.
going to be shocked?
I wouldn't
No
be
one's
shocked.
going to
yeah.
be shocked here.
I think this is it.
I think he's
they
gonna,
want to
but
have
I
a
would
good
not be
season,
shocked.
and then no, I think no. It's time to
I
go.
mean, Chase and Chris, it blows my mind how much you guys know about our basketball team. Kevin, have you caught
6
any of
and
the
1?
games yet?
Yeah, I watched Tarleton State.
He was locked in for the Charlton State game.
I watched a little bit of the Gators game, and I watched a little bit of the Rice game as well. I'm trying to get Avery to. I want Avery to watch, some basketball to kind of see just basic movement, basic passes. Like how to attack the man. I'll talk about it later, but
There are
probably
some athletes out there that
the most proud father moment in basketball
Yes.
history.
yeah.
It was
That's
awesome.
great.
It's great when you work on something at home all day long, and you work on it, and then it comes to a point in the game where it's gonna happen, and she does exactly what you worked
Translates it
I'm
to
just
the
like,
game.
oh.
Everything you've been practicing on all those hours.
on. I screamed. I was like, "Let's go!" I was
That's
great.
awesome, dude.
Everybody, all the parents looked at me like crazy dad. But I was
do
like,
the
"I don't
exact
care."
same thing.
Whatever.
I don't
I
care.
would do the exact same thing.
And then we called Jason and bragged about it, the block that we had.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you. I think it was the thermal. Wear.
It was the thermals. Yes.
It was
I
the
called Jason because Avery wore her Colorado thermals that we wore underneath her. What do they call them? The bibs.
Yeah.
To a basketball game, underneath her shorts.
And I asked
and
her,
it was
how
like
cold was it? It was like 73?
73.
73 degrees
yeah.
outside.
She said it
I
was
like,
cold this morning. She had to take them off at halftime. She was so damn hot.
I was like,
That's
you are
funny.
your father's daughter. It's ridiculous. You will never leave Florida. She's got fucking just thin ass blood, bro. It's awesome.
But yeah, go Knowles.
Well, no, speaking
Keep
of
it
Knowles,
rolling.
West Carolina.
Tomorrow night.
look, guys, we got a W. That's 2 W's, 2 different sports.
Let's go.
What a weekend!
What is that?
What
We're
a
going.
weekend!
We're making it. We're gonna make the bowl game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
Chase
dude.
is so clueless on this one.
Hey, there's one more game. There's one more game and it's
so-
over.
So Chase, you said you wanted us to do something, and that would give you hope for the offseason.
I wanted to see young players putting up. I originally said I just want a young player to have a great game, and I referenced if Kromenhoek could throw for 300 plus yards and 3 touchdowns. That's a true freshman. He went for 209 passing,
Not good enough.
31 rushing,
why I
and
didn't
3
black
touchdowns,
out.
no
He didn't
picks.
hit
So
300.
240 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Our leading rusher, Cam Davis, true freshman. Our leading pass catchers, ready for this? We have Ja'Kai Douglas, who's I think either redshirt junior or redshirt senior, so he's gone. But then we have Mekhi Danzy, freshman. Landon Thomas, freshman. Hakeem Williams, freshman. Hakeem Williams, sophomore. BJ Gibson, freshman. Amari Williams, freshman. LaWayne McCoy, freshman. That's what I wanted to see.
Freshman. I was in for the next.
That's what I wanted to see. I just wanted freshmen not just to be playing, but to be making an impact. And this is the first time that now, don't get me wrong, Landon Thomas has had a game here or there. Amari Williams has had a game here or there. Cam Davis has had spurts, but this is the first game all season against, granted, our worst opponent of the season. But
Not even close.
yeah, but I don't care, dude. In a season that we've got nothing to cheer for, this gave me at least some tiny sliver of hope. So,
But isn't that hope all going to go out
I
the
dis-
window once Florida?
I disregard this whole game. I
mean,
it's
don't-
fine.
I get it. It's you want to see plays, but it is tough when you realize how shitty the team
sure.
you're playing is. So
This
it's-
is borderline playing a high school team. A good high school team,
We
like
lost
a good.
we lost to Jacksonville State. Bro.
Yep.
So I
Last
don't take this shit for
2 years
granted. So 3 years ago, yeah.
You
Yeah,
almost
so-
made me feel like we lost this year. I was like, wait, we lost Jacksonville State this year? Fuck.
I'm just saying, we've lost to shit opponents before. You just can't
but
assume a win, especially with this team.
Oh, trust me, because I turned on the motherfucking game at work, and it was 3-0 in the goddamn second
And
quarter.
then Kevin goes, "Yo, is this score a fucking joke?" And I was like, "No, this is painfully real."
But
It
that's
is
the thing,
painfully 3-0.
so Kromenhoek specifically made some legit throws. These weren't just all busted coverages or just poor tackling. He made throws that gave you hope. Cam
Because
Davis
he was going against the defensive line. They
He's
gave him
good.
time.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, well,
He was going
God
against
forbid he gets some
high
time
school.
next year. Jesus. Cam
much.
Davis,
That's
his
the thing.
talent is there. My issue with Cam Davis is you can tell that he didn't play running back in high school. You can just tell it. He doesn't see the holes really. There's multiple times this year where I'm like, oh, bro, there's the hole, and he hits it somewhere else.
What
Like
did he play? Receiver?
He played quarterback. He was a quarterback in high school.
That's a big ass quarterback. What the
he,
fuck?
But he mostly ran the ball. But it's different, like when you're running the ball as a quarterback. Like you have different reads. You have to throw the ball more. Cam Akers actually played quarterback in high school too, and I felt like he took a year or two to kind of be able to see the holes. Otherwise, you get all this talent. You get a Trent Richardson with the Browns. Like he's so fast, so hard to tackle, but he just never sees the hole. And so, like, yeah, he'll get you 3 yards a carry, but if he could just see where he's supposed to go, he could get you 30 yards, you know? That's Cam Davis, I think, if he can click, if he can kind of go back this summer and just watch all that film of like, man, I should have cut back here, I should have done that, and like learn from it, he's got all the talent in the world to be a legit star at running back.
Speaking of all talent in the world, the goddamn Gators are coming to town. LSU, they just beat. Ole Miss, they just beat.
They're
2 ranked opponents in a row. One a top 10 ranked opponent. They got fucking Lagway on fire right now.
it's a freshman matchup there.
He's a good-
Lagway
Do we
and
even stand a
Cromenhall.
chance? Like, what's the chance here?
I mean, there is always a
14
chance.
point,
no
14 and a half point underdogs at home.
That feels about right.
Feels
I'm
like it.
happy if we lose. I'm not happy if we lose, but if we lose by 14 points, I'm okay. Cool. Like Gators, you just beat the worst team that you've played against in the last 10 years, right? Well, actually, probably ever. So, like, if you
Yeah,
only
but the
beat us by
Gators
14
going into the season was equal to us.
Oh, they were supposed to have a whole. I mean, they
Well,
thought
they
he was going
also-
to get
Probably
fired
worse.
There's
mid-season.
also there's also was the fact that everyone looked at that schedule and was like, a
was like,
good
no
team
fucking way
would
they're
struggle
gonna-
with this, and the Gators are a below average to bad team, whereas we're a awful team.
I also think it's kind of like the McCarthy effect. We get good towards the end. I think Gators got good towards the end. Is going to keep that coach. I don't think he's the coach for the Gators. I don't think he's going to actually.
Oh, yeah,
take
they're
them to the
keeping him
promised
in
land.
the
So I'm actually kinda
Lagway
happy.
fucking saved that dude's life,
He
man.
did.
So
He
I'm
looks
kind of
good,
happy
man.
with it because he'll stay, and then Lagway might be good, but I'm sure one injury in that team is trash.
I know,
right?
but
So we'll see.
a good to great
I'll
college
say-
quarterback can make up for poor
Look at Cam
coaching.
Akers or
Cam
Cam
Ward, yeah,
Ward.
we knew what you meant. Yeah,
Thank you.
We knew what you were saying.
So,
But,
and then last one, I thought we had one more FSU thing.
soccer.
It was soccer.
Soccer,
lost some PKs.
we lost. It is what it is.
Yeah,
We-
I don't-
You can't win it every year. You
Well,
can't win
and
it.
dude,
Every
I
year.
mean, they dominated the game. They peppered the goal with shots, but unfortunately in soccer
PKs
sometimes
is stupid. It's
Sometimes they just don't.
stupid.
I agree, Chris. I hate PKs with a
Like,
passion.
let it-
PKs
Play-
in FIFA is stupid. Or
Play
whatever the
play
fucking-
5 overtimes.
FSU.
PKs is
can't,
such a
dude.
trash
You
way to
can't.
fucking.
I'd rather
end the
just. So that's the thing is like you can't just play 5 overtimes. That'd be
I know,
ridiculous.
but it's like
but like
ridiculous.
but just I don't know, man. Like treat it like how the Champions League used to be. You just restart the game like 3 days later. I just hate PKs. I hate that like a soccer game,
Yeah.
which like soccer is supposed to be incredibly hard to score. Like it takes all this build up, all this teamwork, and then they're like when it's tied, they're like, all right, let's just go and take like the easiest shot in all of
Yeah,
soccer and
go
see
to the
who can make
shootout or
more.
PK.
it's basically it's a coin flip. It's
I
and
hate PKs.
This- it doesn't require a lot of skills to
It
make
really
a
does not,
penalty
dude.
kick.
It really
It's like
doesn't.
I can make a penalty kick. I promise you against a professional goalie.
Yep.
Like
oh, put that on the record. You can.
you could.
Shut
You
the
could.
fuck up.
No, you
Kevin.
could.
It's a guessing game. If he guesses left and I guess right, guess who wins?
But you still
If-
got to
if
put
Kevin-
it in the goal,
if Kevin-
though.
if
Tell
Kevin
your
took-
body.
Are you
If-
saying I can't kick the ball in a goal?
If Kevin
That's
took
how you
10
predict
PKs,
where
he
he
could make
goes.
one.
You've seen
If
people miss
Kevin
all the
took
time.
10, he could make one.
If I took
different.
10, I'm making 3.
I give you
not.
2.
You're not.
That's
Low
fine.
into the
My-
corners.
my-
Low into the corners.
Make this
Low
happen
into the corners
immediately.
with any sort of
You know-
power is almost impossible to if you hit
My-
it decent.
My gripe is not 1 out of 10. I'm saying one shot like any other athlete would get, and he's not making it. He's not making
Most
it.
likely
You're
not.
making it, Kev.
No, you're not.
Most likely.
I
not.
mean, it's a 50-50 shot.
It is.
It's not
no,
a
no, it's not a
50-50.
50-50 shot because you also have to be accurate and with power,
That's true.
Kevin.
Okay. All right. So it's like 30% not in favor of me.
I'd say
So
9
70%
I'd say
in
80
favor-
and 80 to
in
90%
favor of them
chance
saving
you
it.
would not make it.
90's wild.
1 out of 10.
Why?
1 out of 10.
I
Not
think
that
you're
crazy.
taking. I think you're taking the fact that he can predict where you're kicking a little bit better because you're not as athletic.
But you
as
still,
the soccer
you
player
still
going
have to
forward.
be accurate, and you still have to put some pace on the ball. You can't just
Just like-
lob the
yeah,
ball
for
up there,
sure.
and you have to be
Yeah, for sure.
accurate to the corners.
Yeah, you're not making it, bro. You're not. You're
Sorry
not.
about it.
I'll tell you right
Shit.
now.
I think Chris stops
When-
you and gives you. If I give you 20
Stop
shots
it.
and
No,
Chris
you
is
stop
at-
right there.
Yeah,
Stop
no,
right
you
there.
keep
No,
it
we're
going,
fucking
keep
done.
it going.
We're fucking
I'll tell
done.
you right
Check
now.
this out. If Chris was the goalie and I gave you 20 shots
Yeah.
at goal, Chris is gonna stop more than 50% of those.
No
Because
shot.
the other
Oh,
50%,
easy shot.
No shot.
bro. You're not gonna
Wait,
make
hold on,
half
hold
of
on,
them,
hold
bro.
on.
Yeah, you're gonna kick half them over the fucking
Jason,
head.
the only
Bro,
thing I'll
You
say
guys,
is
you guys act like I got no soccer skills. I played
when you
soccer
say
at
when
one
you
point.
say
okay?
he would
What,
stop
like
them
20
do you mean-
years ago.
Okay,
you
but
s-
bro, like that requires some skill. Like I have something. It's not like I'm
Last time
going
you-
in there blind
When's the last time you kicked a soccer ball?
when I'm playing that game. When I'm playing
When
that
you
game.
say stop them, Jason, do you mean he would save them, or does Kevin missing count as Chris stopping him?
Kevin missing counts. 'cause I
Okay, then
consider
yeah.
Chris got into his head.
About 50-50.
Chris got in my head. Listen to this shit.
Yeah,
you
no,
go.
Kevin, I don't think it's the most outrageous thing you've ever said, but this definitely goes. I wish I had a shirt of all the stupid one-liners you said. This is definitely.
Well,
goes
look,
on
I'll
that
just
shirt.
beat the. I'll fucking fight a bear, and then I'll go kick a soccer ball in the goal right after.
Well, most
So
PKs
you-
that don't go in, it's not even that they're stopped; it's that they're missed.
brown
and,
bear, a
and
brown
you're less
bear.
and you're less accurate, I would say, than most
out.
college
That's a
even level kickers.
Yeah.
So, like, I think without Chris saving them, you would miss at least 3.
You're airmailing a bunch of them. You can get
In
you're
trying,
getting your
in
own
trying,
head, kick
to,
it
in
right
trying
over.
to be accurate, you would miss 3 right off the bat.
yeah,
So-
I agree.
And he'll fall.
So he's
twice.
only
Boom,
only
you're
2
busting.
You're
away
gonna
from
fall
fi-
twice.
So if you miss 3 out of 10, he's only 2 away from
Bro.
getting to 50% right there. So I don't think it's absurd to say Chris would stop.
The math is
50%.
making sense, Kevin.
No, you're making sense, Jace. You're making sense.
It's
The math
fucking-
is adding
dude,
up.
Where is the air horns, bro? That is huge, man. I don't even know where. I'm gonna do that one.
When you break it down like that, it does. It makes sense.
Oh, I
but
mean,
at the
look-
same time, hey, I may not airmail any.
When-
I might
when I-
maybe I take my time and just play the guessing game 50-50.
When I was
you go out to
when I
the
was
soccer
coaching
club-
soccer, the boys teams back-to-back years we lost in PKs in the playoffs because we missed PKs both years.
That's bad
Because we
coaching.
missed PKs.
100%.
Bad coaching.
But I'm saying
was
it
the
was
coach?
because of missed PKs both
Who
years.
was the coach? Who's the coach?
Some guy.
Oh,
He was,
Yeah.
he was a
It
dude.
was,
What was his
it was
name?
that guy's fault.
yeah.
It always is. It always
All
is.
right, guys. We'll wrap it up with NFL talk. We can only play this for.
Oh,
Jason.
shit!
Too much.
Shit!
What
Bro.
instrument is that, by the way?
What is what?
What
Huh?
instrument is that? That first initial sound in the
Ba-da-da.
NFL.
Not
Do
a
they
trumpet.
own that
It's
instrument?
not a trumpet.
No,
I
it's-
was going to say trumpet.
Yeah, I think it might
Is
be a
it?
trumpet.
What was that? No,
I-
Wait,
feel it.
trumpet
You gotta
is.
feel it.
Wait, what is it? That's a trumpet.
Yeah, the
right?
trumpet.
Yeah.
What's the
I
one?
don't know
where,
what-
like,
I don't know
what
like,
this one-
I don't know what.
what
Yeah,
is
I don't
that
know what
one?
that one is.
That's a horn.
I don't
Long,
think
a
horn
long
is
horn.
Oh, it's a
Give us
long
the
horn.
NFL
It's a
Pick'em
long
update.
horn. Okay. Pick'em League. The chocolate eater himself is still. You dropped though. Kevin was talking about. He's dropped worldwide
did,
standings. He had a bad week. Wasn't the
Don't want
best
to talk
week.
about it. Don't want to talk about
But
it.
you're still in
There were
first
some
place.
upsets, man. Who thought Dallas was going to win in that crazy game?
Nah, sure not me.
They lost like 6 straight.
So Kevin is still running away with it right now. But then you have Jason coming in at 115 and 62. You're 80. Yeah, 80 points. No, you're more than that. You're 120 points behind.
Jesus, 12 games behind. Fuck,
Yeah.
Kevin's killing it.
And
Get it,
then
bro.
this is where it gets interesting. You have Jose then Chase are 115 and 63, and then I'm a game behind at 114 and 64. So the three of us are.
That's a close one.
It's a
between the
battle
three
right
of you.
now. Yeah.
Dude,
All right,
I've been
so I-
I've been dropping
back.
like crazy last
I
couple
woke
weeks.
I woke up in the middle of the night a couple
Oh.
nights ago because Kevin said, "What the fuck? I win and I don't even get any credit for it." I think it's only fair that this rule needs to stay moving forward. The winner of the podcast for the NFL Pick'em, needs to pick the punishment for the Biggest Loser. I think it's only fair. Like you got to give the winner some kind of credit, some street cred, and the street cred is you get to pick the punishment for the Biggest Loser.
Let's wait
because
to
it
see
isn't
if I
the dick.
lose or not. And then
He's like, let's wait till the season
No,
ends,
that's
and then
what
we'll
I say.
decide
It's
that.
dropping. It's there. And
I'm only one
so-
game away from losing, so let's pump the brakes and we'll
Start
revisit this.
sucking up now, bitches.
Kevin, your skin is
Everybody's
glowing
already-
right now.
Thank you.
Everybody starts changing their tune a little bit. Like
Yeah.
when Kevin says something stupid, you're like, well, it's not dumb. He's not wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're not
Kevin,
completely wrong.
You're making great
Kill a
points right
bear with his
now.
hand.
You
No, he
absolutely could kill a bear.
Oh, you said a brown bear? I thought you were talking about a brown
Grizzly.
bear.
I was thinking
Yeah.
grizzly.
Yeah, you could do that.
For the record, you could also
big
beat a
again?
grizzly though. So
No.
Strong thumbs,
No.
bro. Like the thumbs, I think you got like a skill there that you could
yeah,
use them.
yeah.
Like fingered.
Now that you mention it,
Whoa.
e-gaming is the number one most skilled.
Okay.
Now that-
All right.
Oh man, it's like all
Moving on
right.
to the next one. Why the hell haven't the Jags fired anyone?
This
Chris,
seems like a common headline. Just
But what?
just say I don't know.
I mean, the answer is clearly I don't know. But like the Giants just made changes. Yet. Like, what's he waiting for? Did he leave Jacksonville? I don't understand what we're doing. I saw Big Cat Country put up this poll. They're like, how do Jaguars fans feel about the coaches and everybody still being employed? 29% said never been more irate. 28% are upset but not really surprised. 17% said I don't care if they do it in January. 13% said I don't even care anymore.
The Jags still play football.
11% said I'm angry, and only 2% said I'm glad. So I
wanna
just don't
talk
know
to
what
the
we're waiting
2%ers.
for. Yeah,
That
what are you
2%.
glad about? What
They must
what
have
has
a-
made you happy from this season?
So
That's
I don't know
that
if-
fan that's like, I bleed teal. You know, it doesn't
You can
matter.
bleed teal.
Win or loss, I love my team.
There's been a whole lot of losing, and so why are we not going to make a
The
change?
Jets are out here firing everyone but the owner and Aaron
Everybody's
Rodgers.
firing people but us. I don't understand. We have the number one pick again because the stupid Titans won. So I don't understand why. What do we? If we're going to do it in January, why not do it right now?
a lot of
what are
ball
we waiting
game
for?
left. A lot of ball game.
No, there's
there's
not.
not a lot of ball game left.
Oh,
See,
unless
there's
Kevin
no more
Murphy knows
wins
his
left.
answer based off of what analysts have been saying out there. Have you read any reports on the possibility of why? Like why they haven't? Like anybody
Blackmail.
that's given really like actually real
Hmm?
good.
a black male. What?
Careful, careful.
Wow. Jesus.
He said it.
No, like, is there any credible sources out there that have an idea, like that you kind of like trust their opinion, not like a random fan that's like, oh, there's a conspiracy and aliens have fucking Khan and they can't do anything about it. You know what I mean?
Good.
No, the only things I've read is that they're just like maybe they're in the process of trying to get everything figured out before they make the move. I'm like, but just
Why?
why? That's what I said. I'm like, if you
Well,
if you know you're going to do it, then just do it.
yeah, but
Do you have a guy on staff that you would feel comfortable with being the interim coach? Like who
No.
would be your interim? Who would be?
No.
Well, I'm just
I mean-
curious because like so for instance, the Dolphins in the past, their interim coaches have actually gone on to be fucking like really good coaches. Dan Campbell, for instance, was an interim
I
coach.
love
for the
you so
Dolphins back
damn
in the
much,
day.
man. I love you
brother,
guys.
me and Chris were making fun of him last night.
brother,
So,
I'm going to
yeah.
read y'all something I read
Well, and,
today.
and what I'm saying is like there's two times where the Dolphins have fired the head coach and brought in an interim coach, and both times I was like, fuck, he should be our next coach. Like he came in and turned around the system, and Dan Campbell being one. And so like maybe the Jags could, fire Marone
Everyone.
or fire Doug, and then your interim coach turns it around. You're like, maybe we have our option right here.
Nah, get them all.
Press Taylor is their offensive coordinator. You know,
Nah, I mean, look at your
he is the guy that turned the offense. Trevor Lawrence into a 4,000-yard passer. He turned Calvin Ridley into a 1,000-yard receiver. Travis Etienne into a 1,000-yard rusher. These are all things that are under his, history. Why not just make him an intern until you find
If
old
that's what
ass
it
Doug
takes
a replacement?
to fire everybody else, then I'm fine. But it's just
Yeah,
How
Dolphins
long
had
has
Todd
your-
Bowles and Dan Campbell. So you could have the next, really good head coach already on your staff right now, and you'll never know because you're just riding with Doug.
oh, get them
Chris,
out.
how long has your GM been in place?
Too long.
Too
To be
long.
honest with you.
It's bulky,
How long are we
right?
talking?
Yeah.
Terrible.
How long we like 10 years, 15 years?
No,
He was the GM of San Fran when like Harbaugh and him like butted heads, and Harbaugh ended up leaving to go back to Michigan. I've always thought
He took over in 2020.
I've always thought he was a bad GM.
Oh no, excuse me, 2021. He was director of player personnel in 2020. He took over in 2021 as the Jags GM.
clean house.
I have
Shad,
not liked him.
The yacht. I think it's still in Jacksonville. Just get out of there. My thing is, I don't know what we're waiting on. If you're going to do it at the end of the year, then just say we're doing. I don't understand why we're not. Everybody knows it's coming.
What? Like that could be the problem, right?
What? that you're
Bulky.
not making it.
Bulky
yeah.
is definitely a problem.
Oh yeah, he should go to. Schott should get rid of all of them. Just completely start over. I mean, when you come in this year and say this is one of the most talented the most talented Jags team I've ever seen,
Heard that in another
and
team.
you're
Maybe it's a Florida
2-9,
thing.
and you're 2-9, and have had some embarrassing
A North
games.
Florida thing.
You had the worst loss in franchise history. Like this is clearly not your most talented team.
Sounds
And if-
incredibly similar to Florida
It
State.
really
right now. I
does.
feel so
It
bad for
really
Chris,
does.
Honestly, you guys are.
I just
you
don't
guys
know
have
what
talking
they're
about-
waiting
better
for.
fans.
While we're talking about GMs, I want to give a quick shout out to our GM. Somehow getting Xavier McKinney and Josh Jacobs and bringing these guys in, absolute fucking change. They're the difference maker in the Packers season right now. Those two players right now.
McKinney
How is-
personally is the one that I think is just.
I mean, Josh Jacobs is having
He's been
one of the
great.
best
He's been
rushing
great.
seasons in
But
Packers
Josh Jacobs
history.
had also led the NFL in rushing in his career. Like it's
to,
this.
yeah, to see the talent of Xavier McKinney and bring him in,
Yes.
and now he's flourishing. I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
How old is McKinney? Is he pretty new?
He's pretty young, like 26, 27.
Yeah, I'm not 100%
I like
on
his
his
attitude.
I don't
I
want to
like
say.
all of the attitudes. They all feel like they're playing for the team. I think the ages gets them in trouble sometimes. I think they go out there and just like,
25.
Wow, though.
He's
All the time.
25 years old.
yeah, that's
That's
great.
wild.
You sign him up right
That's
now.
insane.
Well, I don't know.
Because again, with
We're gonna
running
get him
back,
for
like
1 year. What's his contract?
But no, he signed a multi-year contract.
Oh, even better.
see, that's
All
the
right,
other thing with Josh Jacobs is like he's still young, but running backs you just never know. Like it's insane how quickly they can drop off. But like, defensive backs tend to last a little longer, and they don't tend to just drop off a cliff. You know what I mean? It's like I think
Yeah.
that I loved that signing at the time for y'all. I love it even more now for y'all. So
Yeah,
I think
4
that's
years,
a huge steal.
67 million. And those are both guys that we got early in free agency too. Like went out and
You had a
almost like
plan. You had a plan. That's dude. You love to see that. The GM was
Unlike
like,
the fucking
"These are the guys I
Giants.
want. I'm getting them." End of story.
how bad do the Giants feel right now?
I mean, they would still suck. That's the
I mean,
thing. Even-
hindsight's what?
And even with Saquon,
25,
like,
30?
are they
Is
a
that what
playoff
say?
team?
That's
Are they
how
a
it goes.
playoff team with Saquon?
No shot.
No. So I mean, yeah, you still have to sign him. You don't lose him for nothing, but it really
Packers
wouldn't
just do
change
shit
that
all
much.
the time.
Really wouldn't change that.
That was
much.
our mo. We'd lose so many good players without trading them or getting something for
Not
them.
Brett
And they just
Favre. You got some picks for him. You got some picks for Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm talking about more defensive side.
That's
too.
another thing about the GM.
We've had good
like,
corners in the past.
Bro,
Not-
y'all
not
fleeced
budging
the
on-
Jets.
Yeah.
Bro, the Jets.
fuck the Jets.
The
I
Jets are
laughed
such
at
a
the Jets. That's
dumpster
hilarious.
fire, and I fucking love
They're
it, dude.
pretty trash.
I love it.
All right, to
Stupid.
wrap it up, we got some fantasy. That's nice.
Ooh.
Chris, man, right now, give me your pick'ems.
something.
Your studs and
My
duds and
pick'ems?
fantasies right now.
My stud, I'm gonna tell you who's killing it for me, and just a resurgence of late. Cortland Sutton, this wide receiver, this motherfucker has come
This
out of
motherfucker.
fucking nowhere. Let's see. I had him pull it up. So this past week he got 8 catches, 97 yards, 2 touchdowns. This man had went double digit once in the first 5 weeks. He's gone double digits 5 weeks in a row. 3 touchdowns. Cortland, thank you, man. You're making that playoff push for us. We sure appreciate you because the dud, and I know it's tough to put him on there, but Justin Jefferson, man, this is playoff push time. I'm gonna need more than 2 catches for 27 yards.
That's not gonna do it.
Trying to
You're
push the
doing- that's not
playoffs. That's
gonna
not
do
going to
it.
do
You're
it.
doing
right now.
you're doing great,
Playoffs.
Justin. You're doing great.
Against the Bears, we're going to
Playoffs.
need more than that if we're trying to get in the playoffs here. I can't. I need. Come on, Justin. Come on.
Come on.
That's
Justin.
5 straight games without a touchdown, Justin. Come on. You're trying me. What's wrong with you?
My stud has been my stud all year long, Kenneth Walker. He didn't score a touchdown, still got 9 points for me. He had like 40 something yards rushing, 50 something yards receiving. Absolute stud. I love him. I didn't have a great week of fantasy, obviously, if he's my stud.
I was going to say, who's your dud if 9 is your
My
stud?
dud, I had to bring in a backup tight end, AJ Barner. Appreciate you. And your 3 catches, 19 yards. Hey, you were serviceable with your 1 point, so I appreciate you.
Thank you for your 1 point. And
Evan
goodbye.
Ingram, please get healthy after the bye.
Ooh. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know how you pronounce his last name. I picked him up. McLaurin.
Yep, that sounds
Terry?
good.
Yeah, you did good.
Yeah.
Terry McLaurin.
He was
McLaurin?
able to be picked up.
In the draft, yeah.
Oh,
I drafted him, sure.
30 points, 30.20. We do decimals here. His stats were awesome.
They
Scrolling
are,
down to see
yeah.
what he did.
Jesus, 30 points?
Five
holy
of six
shit, that's
targets for
very
102
awesome.
yards and a touchdown. So yeah,
Say it again. Say it. What was his stats?
102 yards, 5 catches, and a touchdown.
he must have had some rushes in there somewhere
So that's really good.
because that's only like 21 points you just described.
He had 7 rushes for 7 touchdowns as well. So.
He scored a touchdown every time he ran
In a
the ball.
PPR, that would be about like 21 points. So you had to have something else in there.
Game log. Here we go. Here we
Game
go.
log. Game log.
Games on. Games on.
It's just goddamn games
Game's
on.
on.
Games on.
Game's on. What week are we in right now?
We are currently in a week.
Oh, okay.
We're all like, let me look, because
We are in week 12 currently.
Oh, never mind. Wait. Yeah,
Good.
I don't
Come
know
on,
where he
find
got
it.
points for him. To be honest
Find
with
it.
you.
Oh,
Mm,
it's a mystery.
5 catches,
find the
102
stats.
yards, and a
I
touchdown.
was gonna say, let me see if I can help you.
Please.
Terry McLaurin, 5 catches, 102 yards, a touchdown. He had 0 rushing, so
I
I'm
don't
not sure.
know,
Where.
bro. You might have a typo there.
Wait.
dude.
He had
Hold it.
a fumble recovery. Does that count?
Did he take it in for a touchdown?
Yeah, like,
Doesn't
where
say.
did these
No.
extra
Did he have?
points coming
Did he have
from?
a 2-point conversion?
Let me see if
Get
he had
2
any
points for that?
tackles. Did he have any tackles?
Did he get out on defense and make a stop?
Jaden Daniels had a tackle.
No,
Look
he
at
had
that.
he had a receiving touchdown, and
Yeah.
he had a 40-yard.
That's
reception
21
touchdown.
points.
But he had a 40-yard. He had 2 touchdowns. It says so.
Oh.
And his first thing and his
It must have been the fumble recovery. Then.
yeah, because it says so
Yeah,
in
that's-
his description it says McLaren brought in a 5 of 6 targets for 102 yards and a touchdown in the win or the loss or whatever it is. And then under its game performance, it says 5 receptions, 102 reception yards, receiving touchdown, 40-yard receiving touchdown, 6 targets. I don't understand what the fuck that means.
That's so weird.
Yeah,
Well-
REC, right? That reception.
Run after
Yep.
catch.
Yep. He definitely recovered a fumble for a touchdown.
Okay.
Okay,
That explains it.
Terry.
wait, Chase is right though. There's a typo.
That makes sense though.
Still, that's-
So apparently,
crazy.
Brian Robinson fumbled into the end zone, and Terry McLaurin picked it up.
well.
Scored a
There it is. yeah.
Terry's like, I got you.
Fumble
There you go.
recovery, touchdown.
Still
Boom.
lost.
It's a hell of a
That's
week there in
crazy.
general.
What about you?
Yeah, my stud is Tua Tagovailoa, who threw for 317 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks, no fumbles for 37 points. Pretty.
Hope you
pretty
enjoyed
good.
that time.
I did. And my
It's about to get real cold, motherfucker.
yeah, I mean he's ready to
What?
prove himself in the
Oh,
cold,
it's like,
dude.
I
You
don't-
don't think
now
he's
I
been
get it.
here? I'm not saying it's gonna be good or bad, but I mean even in our losses the last couple weeks, he's putting up stats. Both our losses since he came back have been because our defense has shit the bed. So.
He's a mobile quarterback. We're fucked.
Hey man, what's the weight? What's the wager
Yeah,
here?
please
That's a
run.
hot game.
No, he tends to. He's been running more in the pocket, thankfully, dude. Like stop running downfield. Just don't do that. Don't,
What's the wager?
Don't do that.
We got a hot bet.
Ooh,
We'll put some on it. We'll put some on it. My dud of the
Some.
week comes from the same game, and that's Ramondre Stevenson, who had 8
Never
carries.
heard of her.
8 carries for 13 yards. He did kind of salvage his day, at least make it not the worst day in the history of the world by getting a 2-point conversion after the game was basically over.
All
So
right.
instead of only getting 1.3, he got 3.3.
He said, "I got 2 points for you, bro. Hold
Yes.
that."
3.3 points
Hold that
in
dick.
a game that I needed to win
that
to,
dick.
to lock up the bye. So thank you, you dick.
Oh, so sorry that you couldn't lock up the bye week spot with losing.
Lock it up.
I just don't understand.
That was good. Did
Yeah,
you guys
I mean-
want to drop before we wrap it up? Did you guys want to drop a bet, Kev? I mean, I'm a Packers fan, but I don't like betting on my team because I feel like a jinx comes along.
I'm
I mean,
down.
the Dolphins have been jinxed my entire life. So
I know, but at the same time, I would do it in a heartbeat. I feel like I jinx it right away, so I can't.
I'm down to do something during New Year's, so we'll be together if we lose.
do you have
so.
like a general idea or no? We can. I mean,
Oh,
we
what?
can workshop it.
You got any Dolphins jerseys or
I have
shirts
Dolphin
or
shirts for
gear?
sure. Yeah. I
All
have
right,
Dolphins
well,
merch.
so I'll just wear that for a day. How about that?
Okay.
And I have to anytime Chase says something to me, I have to say "Go Dolphins," and
Fins
then
up. No, I want to hear
No,
fins
yeah,
up.
there you
I want
go.
to hear
fins
fins
up. I have to say fins up, and then
Yeah.
answer or talk to him. However,
I like it.
address him.
And is this translate over to Chase then too? Then,
Yeah,
for
and I would
Packers
say
fans?
what? Go Pack, go.
Yeah, but you have to play the song. Dun 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 dun. dun.
Whoa. come on.
Hey.
Now we're getting
Yeah,
like
I like-
way
No, I'm
too
just kidding.
intense.
I'm just
No,
kidding.
not
No,
kidding. Go
He's
for
like,
it.
I'm not kidding, but also put that in there.
go Pat, go. I
I'll
love
go
it.
Pack Go. Yeah,
And you'll be wearing a jersey as well.
that's fine. I'm not a Jersey guy, but
You will be that weekend.
Trying to think if there's like a player that you have that he hates, but there's nothing there. Like
Aaron
Favre, we play
Rodgers.
for the Jets.
Aaron
but,
Rodgers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
Aaron
doesn't play
Rodgers.
for us anymore.
but he, yeah, but he
Oh, I
hates-
have his jersey. Yeah, is that what you're saying?
yeah,
oh,
he
yeah.
should wear a player that he hates the most. So
That
Aaron
would be
Rodgers,
the
I
one.
think would be.
That would literally
got
be
you.
the one.
I got
Feel
you.
what you're putting down.
I got a couple.
You got
I
a
have
you got a
the jersey.
Javon Walker because I wear the shit out of that one.
I do have a Javon Walker
Yeah.
jersey.
I rooted for him hard when he played for y'all.
He had some good
Heard it on
seasons.
Hard.
Hard.
All right, boys. That's about it. Kev, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah,
Stop
thank
looking
you
at your
so
phone,
much for.
dick.
I'm trying to
Stop
look
it.
at
Stop it.
something
Stop
that
it.
had to do with our podcast, but okay.
Yeah.
Hey, folks, thank you so much for joining us. Cup to Cup Show on all social sites, including TikTok, all right? I've been putting a little bit more extra effort into TikTok,
He's
and we're
back.
starting
What
to
was
gain
the
a little
video
bit.
that got nixed from TikTok. I heard a video that got kicked out. that we
Something
didn't
about a
like.
pussy, I think, or something like that. I don't know.
What was the
Careful.
video, Chris? That
Careful.
you said that one of our videos got kicked out of.
Yeah, which one did you put that they
Was it
banned
the
or
one
they took
where,
it down?
where Kevin showed his dick, or
No,
No,
they
they didn't
let
care
that one
about that.
stay.
They really
It
don't
was
care
this
about
week.
that.
I said something about
Oh, it
some.
was the porn. It was a porn one. Right?
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Basically, the people that you jacked off to was in the room, or the
Yes,
people
that's
like-
what it
took
was.
that
One
down.
of them. They did. Yep.
Yeah, Instagram
Why?
not, but I mean, I don't-
Instagram don't give a fuck, but TikTok's like, take it down, take it down.
I think I
Uh,
just watched someone just give head to somebody without seeing the penis. Like it's basically softcore porn now.
Well, you should join Chris on X. See what. he-
Hey, come join us. You'll see plenty of them.
Yeah. So on all those sites,
come.
make sure Cup to Cup Show. If you haven't joined our TikTok, come join. I'm putting some different things on there as well, besides just our clips. So, and then cuptocuplife.com. You can find our new Christmas shirts. Christmas is in season now. I put up my tree, so it's fucking ready. We're rolling. So. And then we got some new merch coming out too as well, so keep an eye out for that. Jason's wearing his test
It's
dummy right here.
So like I had this one for the cups on this side.
Yeah.
I had this to match on that.
Ooh, I like that too. I like that better.
did anyone hear my dick?
Oh, it does looks
there,
good.
or-
That looks really good.
So
That looks better with that one.
Yeah, I agree. So
I
I,
would
get to
agree
wear
with that
one with
too.
2 cups on it, but the ones in the store I think is gonna keep that one. But then the other one, Cheers, has the cups in the front.
Love it.
What's that
That
one?
was a
say?
Kevin ask. This one's Rainbows. This is like I don't know
Rainbows.
why I like how the letters looked on this one, so I was like, I'm going with the Rainbows. And then there's another one that says Cheers, and then the other one. What was the one that you didn't like, Kev?
I
You
think I liked them.
No. There was Cheers.
Oh, I didn't like the cheers without the circle.
Without the
I think
circle,
that's
yeah.
what.
Circle, yeah.
You were a big
Just
circle guy.
I'm a circle guy. Yeah.
That's good. Anyways,
Love you
check it out.
guys.
Splash shirt.
Bye.
Buy a shirt, Christmas. Holla. Get something for your friend.
Motherfucker.